What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. With SOD, or Season of Discovery, coming up in the near future. We're at 3 weeks away at this point. You guys are probably sitting there wondering, what class am I going to play? Every class looks crazy. All of these classes look so incredibly strong. I don't know what I want to play. Hammer, please help me out. Well, I'm here to help you out, and today we're going to be going over all of the runes available for the Hunter up to level 25. All of these runes are in the game at launch for this level band, and then obviously I will be making videos for every single class going forward when we get a new phase and we find out a little bit more about some new runes being added to the game. So without further ado, let's take a look at the Hunter. Okay, so starting off, we're going to go over the Hunter's chest engravings. So first up on the list here, we have Master Marksman. Increase your critical strike chance by 5% and reduce the mana cost of all your shot abilities by 25%. So this is pretty big. It's going to give you an extra 5% crit chance, and it's going to make you a little bit more mana efficient. Hunters didn't struggle that bad with mana in vanilla. You were still a viable DPS, but you did run out of mana on longer fights, so this is going to help you kind of maintain your mana a little bit better. Next up on the list, we have Cobra Strikes. Your critical hits with shot abilities cause your pet's next 2 special attacks to critically hit. That's huge. That's a big DPS increase. We have Lone Wolf. You deal 25% increased damage with all attacks while you do not have an active pet. I can't wait to see the theory crafting and see Hunters running around with no pets here, just as like a pure, sniper marksman running the Lone Wolf Glyph. There's going to be some serious builds using that, especially in Raid. Expose Weakness. Your ranged criticals increase your attack power by 40% of your current agility for 7 seconds. That's pretty good. Let's read that one more time. Your ranged criticals increase your attack power by 40% of your current agility for 7 seconds. So this is, especially at endgame, this is always going to be up because you're critting constantly. So it's just a massive damage increase. Overall, for the chest engravings for Hunters, we're looking at some pretty good stuff here. So let's move on to the legs. Okay, first up on our list of leg engravings for Hunters, we have Sniper Training. Your shot abilities gain 30% increased critical strike chance while you have not moved for the last 6 seconds. So basically, there's going to be a benefit to standing still and not moving. And in vanilla, with the way the fights used to be, there wasn't too many instances where you did need to move at endgame. There obviously is some mechanics, but we don't know what the new mechanics are going to be. So this is an interesting one. If there are a lot of fights where Hunters can stand still, this is going to be a huge DPS increase. I mean, 30% increase on your crit is going to just be absolutely nuts. So next up on the list, we have Kill Command. Gives the command to kill, increasing your pet's damage done from special attacks by 60% for 30 seconds. Each special attack done by the pet reduces the damage bonus by 20%. So we now have Kill Command in vanilla, which is a massive one for Hunters. Serpent Spread. Targets hit by your multi-shot are also afflicted by your Serpent Sting for 6 seconds. So now basically you're going to be able to multi-shot, a group of enemies in your dungeon or your raid, and it will just instantly apply Serpent Sting to all of them. Another big DPS increase. Next up, we have Flanking Strike. You and your pet deal simultaneous instant 100% melee damage. Afterward, your Mongoose Bite and Raptor Strike deal 10% increased damage for 10 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. Raptor Strike has a 20% chance to reset the cooldown of Flanking Strike. So this is one of those, we've been hearing about it. This is one of those Hunter melee abilities. So imagine playing a melee Hunter using Flanking Strike with Lone Wolf on, right? No pet. It's going to be a build, and people are going to try it out. And I have a feeling that there's going to be at least a few instances where it's extremely strong and will out DPS being ranged. But let's move on to the hand engravings. Okay, so first up on our list for hand engravings for Hunters, we have Carve, a sweeping attack that strikes all enemies in front of you for 50% weapon damage. So this is going to be like a frontal, like a Cone of Cold or a Dragon's Breath type of spell. So a sweeping attack that strikes all enemies in front of you for 50% weapon damage. So this is basically, I would say that I would put this in the melee category, right? This is going to be another melee Hunter ability, in my opinion. So a little bit more cleave to weave into your multi-shots and things like that in dungeons and raids. So we'll see how that plays out. This ability confuses me a little bit. It seems a little bit weak to me, but it might not be. We got to just see it, in play and see how it goes. Next up on the list, we have Beast Mastery. Your pet's damage and health are increased by 30% and its focus regeneration by 80%. In addition, your pet's growl now also taunts the target to attack it for 3 seconds. So Beast Mastery, so that's big. This is a big one. This is going to be obviously a DPS increase. This is going to be big for Beast Mastery hunters, and it's going to make it, in vanilla, when you're playing a hunter, there's a lot of instances where you'll either macro your pet attack in, or you'll send your pet attack in, and you'll start attacking a mob, and then you crit one time and it rips the mob off your pet, and the mob comes charging at you, and now you got to kite a little bit. So this might actually solve that, and it seems like it will, because your pet's going to do a lot more damage and be a little bit tankier, so it'll probably be able to hold threat a lot better as well. Next up on the list, we have Chimera Shot. You deal 125% weapon damage, refreshing the current sting on your target and trigger an effect. Serpent Sting instantly deals 40% of the damage done by your Serpent Sting. Viper Sting instantly restores mana to you equal to 60% of the total amount drained by your Viper Sting. And Scorpion Sting attempts to disarm the target for 10 seconds. This effect cannot occur more than once per minute. Okay, that is absolutely massive. So now, especially in World PvP, you're fighting a warrior, you throw Scorpion Sting on the warrior, you kite away a little bit, and then you hit him with a Chimera Shot, and now that warrior's disarmed for 10 seconds. And let's say, you have the Lone Wolf rune being used and Flanking Strike. Now you disarm them and you run in, and you just start wailing on them as a melee hunter with 25% increased damage. That's pretty big. That's big. I can't wait to see that being used in all this crazy amount of World PvP that we're going to be having. And then next up on the list, we have Explosive Shot. You fire an explosive charge into the enemy target, dealing 73 to 90 fire damage. This charge will blast the target every second for an additional 2 seconds. Cooldown shared with Arcane Shot. We all know and love Explosive Shot, and I'm so happy to see it in vanilla. All right, so that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. It really does help me out a lot, and share it with your friends. We're all so excited to jump into Season of Discovery and test all this stuff out. It's going to be so much fun. I honestly think on stream, I'm going to level every single class to 25 in the first couple of weeks. So it's going to be a blast. There's going to be World PvP everywhere. I know we're all so hyped, and I honestly just cannot wait for it. But yeah, consider subscribing to the channel and turning on post notifications so you don't miss the next time I post a video. I'm posting a video for every single class going forward up until Season of Discovery, and then beyond. We will be covering this season as much as we possibly can. And thank you guys all so much for the support on these videos. It really is helping me out here. I can't believe you guys are liking these videos as much as you are, and I'm so happy and thankful that you do. And if you guys want to hang out with me live, I do stream on Twitch Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern time at twitch.tv/hammerdance. There'll be a link to that in the description below this video. But anyways, guys, that's all from me. Thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I'll see you all in the next one.